we want to say that, let's say something happened in your life 20 years ago, and let's say it was not pleasant, and you can still remember it. And the reason that you still remember it is because 19 years ago you were telling the story of it, and 18 years ago you were telling the story of it, and 17 years ago you were telling the story of it, 16, 15, just about every day or week you renew the story to someone. And so it's not a 20-year-old vibrational event, it's an active event within you right now. And it has been a source of you not letting in some things you want all that time, which makes you want to blame the event. And we just want to say to you, it's active in your vibration because you're thinking the thought, and nobody else is thinking the thought in you. It's the thought that you're thinking, and if you weren't thinking that thought, chances are nobody else would be thinking that thought, and that vibration would become inactive, and therefore not a player in your vibration, and therefore not a hindrance to what you ask for today. So what we just said to you is, so let's say you're moving through life today and you come to a realization that you really desire something, and you've got a really active desire about something that's in your vortex, but you don't realize that that event that happened 20 years ago that you keep renewing is right here in the way of this new idea, and it doesn't need to be. You could have a clean slate today. You could be standing in your now because because your inner being has been the clarifying process for you all along. When you lived something you didn't want, you threw a rocket of desire into your vibrational reality, and your inner being stands there with it, not literally, but knows it, bees it, focuses upon it, offers a vibrational equivalency of it, stands as the guiding light for you to find the vibrational resonance with it. What we're saying to you is, you do not have one valid excuse that you are not right now living every single thing you want. You don't. But the thing you do that keeps you from living everything that you want is that you have these old beliefs that you keep dragging forward, and you think that they are unimportant. Sometimes they're humorous stories, sometimes they are dramatic stories, often you use them for entertaining purposes, but mostly you use them because at some level of your being you know that there's something about that is in the way now, so you keep wanting to expose it, and every time you do, it gains a little momentum. It just keeps coming with you. Now the good news is, it also keeps causing you to create a really beautiful, improved reality that you don't ever let manifest, because those thoughts can't turn to things because you keep turning those thoughts to the things. You see, you get to decide which of the thoughts about your life that you get to turn to the things. And so if you're telling stories that are not satisfying, Esther's got one. She's got a floor in a house in Del Mar that is not pleasing to her and hasn't been for the entire 8 or 9 or 10, however many years it's been sitting there. Jerry and Esther chose the perfect tile. It was so beautiful. And when they came to their finished floor, they were told, well, we couldn't actually get that glazed tile, so we put this down. We'll glaze it afterward. We'll seal it. Well, they did seal it, but it never looked as pretty, and the stuff kind of peels off, and it's really not pleasing to Esther, and hasn't been for all the years she's been telling the story. And even though she's in a perfect position, she's hardly ever there, she could just call someone, have them clean out the furniture in that house and replace that floor, and next time she goes there it could be perfect. But she can't let that happen because the vibration of that floor is stuck in her vibrational craw. If you were to visit her at that house, she would say, come in, it's such a beautiful place except the floor. Then she would tell you, oh, you should have seen the original tile the way it was supposed to look. They couldn't get it, they were in a hurry, they put this down, didn't ask us. Then they tried to seal it. It looks crappy. Look under the table where the chairs have dragged around. Look out on the patio where the rain has dripped. It's dissolving. It's just dissolving out there. Yep. I could replace it, but I have to move everything out. Things that probably get scratched up. And it's not even like her. It's not who she is today, except for just that one story. Oh, there might be others, but just that one story. She just keeps renewing it, keeps bringing it forward. Now, in the scope of human events, that's not a very important thing, but it is in her way, and it is not satisfying. That's what we want to explain, is that you can never step away from the vibrational tension. Is a good word Esther is finding for what we mean. The vibrational tension between who you are in your physical body right now and who you are in your non-physical beingness right now, who you are in your beliefs about what you want and what your desires about what you want. There's this vibrational tension going on all the time, and you've got to find a way to manage that gap. And so we've been writing processes and helping you to think thoughts that feel better and so forth, and the processes are effective if you apply them at the right moment, like we were talking about earlier today. If you're in the receptive mode and you apply a process, you can get real movement and you can bridge beliefs. But if you are in a place of dissatisfaction when you try to apply a process, all you do is renew the complaint into a new moment in time. And that is the simple reason that you're not having more quick manifestations. We heard you laugh when we asked you, do you know what you want? And do you believe that your belief is in vibrational alignment with what you want? And you didn't laugh, you sort of groaned, because you know it isn't, but it would be easy to fix that. And so that's why we're asking you to just for 15 or 20 minutes a day, quiet your mind. And when you quiet your mind, you stop thought. And when you stop thought, you're not renewing that 20-year-old problem. And when you stop renewing it today and you stop renewing it tomorrow and you don't renew it the next day and you don't renew it the next day, before long, it becomes an inactive. It is something that you could bring up again, but it becomes less and less dominant player in your vibration until you find yourself in such close vibrational proximity to who you really are and what you really want that the impulses flow into your mind more and more and more. And that's what we call living in the receiving mode.